G'day, mate, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jetty. And look, I know I normally start the episodes with the sunrise, but what can I say? Having that gas giant fully lit up, rising in the background, that's just a winner. That is just a winner for me. So, with that out of the way, today's episode, we're doing a bunch of things. First thing we need to do is, well, we've gone through some of the research between episodes. I've gone and thrown down a few more wind turbines. It's not quite enough. But we're getting there. We're not browning out entirely. We're just like graying out a little bit. It's fine. Okay. So today's episode, we're going to go interplanetary. There's a bunch of things we need to do before we go interplanetary, but basically we need to go get silicon and titanium. Now, silicon and titanium don't exist on this planet. They never exist on your homeworld. You need to go venture for them, and our two choices are, well, these two planets. Now, before we go into those two planets, I do need to mention a couple of things. I do need to mention that we're going to rename our home planet to Home World, because it just seems practical. The second thing I need to do is I need to rename our sun to Taka. Because I stream Dyson Sphere over on Twitch, and actually I'm streaming not quite this save, but a save like adjacent to this save. And Taka, who is one of my patrons, who often, catches just about every stream, actually asked me whether he could have the sun named after him, and I said, sure, why not? So with that, we're going to name the sun Taka. Now, I am going to name planets, not every planet, but certain planets. Basically, most planets, most stars after supporters of the channel. That is, a supporter either, over on Patreon, same as Taka, or even, a YouTube member. And I'm going to always start taking from the newest first. It's just something I like doing. It means everybody gets an opportunity at some stage to have their name in something. So, by all means, if you're a supporter of the channel over on Patreon, or a YouTube member, and there is the join button down the bottom. I think, and bear with me, I'm not sure because of exchange rates and YouTube just tweaks some systems, but I think it starts off at like $1 per month support. So, if you want a planet named after you, I go cheap. I'm a cheap guy. Okay, so with that, we need to go off-world. But before I go off-world, and now the sun's up, I think we need some solar power. Mainly because our two choices for planets are this one, which is, well, it's on fire. It also is fallen over sideways. It rolls around the planet, around the orbit. So, yeah, something to consider. That's going to be an interesting one. And that one has both silicon and titanium. Normally you have one planet has titanium, one planet has silicon. I've been lucky. This one actually has both. On the flip side, the cold planet over here also has both. And we're going to go to the cold planet. I like going to the cold planet. The catch is the wind energy ratio is 40%. It's crap. I'm still going to take wind turbines because they make great power poles. They also drag power around the map and generate a little bit of power at the same time. But I think I'm going to need some solar panels. So I think that's where we're going to start. We're going to make some solar panels like right here. We only require silicon, plus we require a whole bunch of copper, plus we require a little bit of copper and a little bit of iron. Conveniently, thanks drone engine. Hey, drones are a little bit faster. Conveniently, we have this copper here that I really need to get rid of because we're going to end up building over it. Plus, I have this iron here that I really need to get rid of because we're going to be building over it. And I have this iron belt that goes the wrong way. So I'm thinking like quick copper smelter, quick iron belt, wrap it up here, make some solar panels, take the iron belt straight through, clears it out of my way at the same time. And with that said, let's see what it looks like. And that is what our new solar build looks like. It does the job. It meant the iron belt got shoved out of the way. We're now using this copper. We just made some green circuits right here. We're running it straight in the solar panel machine. And we've made a few solar panels, not a heap, but enough to get us started. And with that, that is also the research we're waiting on, so we can now jump out to space. So we're going to zoom out, and we are going to head over to our icy planet. So we need to turn on the indicator just to make our life a little bit easier. And actually need to zoom back out, please. So we can say it's, well, the other side of the planet to start with, and then aim towards the sun. So, first steps first, take to flight. Oh, hang on. Before we go anywhere, any other supplies we want. We'll grab the extra wind turbines. We will grab... Got plenty of smelters, plenty of miners. We'll grab all the belt we can, because you can never have too much belt. And then, I guess, we just need to follow the dotted blue line. Yes. That dotted blue line. And I'm going to accelerate up. Oh, power for me. We've got plenty, I hope. Alright, so we're going to accelerate up to a reasonably high speed. It is a 1 minute ETA to get there. So I'll see you guys in about a minute, when obviously we do a superhero landing straight into the face of the planet, because it's a staple of the channel at this point. It's a staple. It's a staple of us doing superhero landings. So I'll see you guys in 50 seconds. All right, and now we're going to come in for our landing.
Woo! Superhero landing. Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Spot on. So, yes, if you enjoy my landings, can you please, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like the video, definitely as well. At the same time, down the comment section, you know, throw in your favorite superhero landing. Give me the name of the movie and which scene. I would very much appreciate it. Never know, maybe it'll pop up in a future landing in Dyson Sphere. With all that said, it's time to put down a bunch of miners. Now, we're on a whole new planet, so a couple of things to note. One, there's nothing. There is nothing on the planet. Just where we've landed, just what we've done. We have titanium and silicon here. In fact, this is going to be our silicon-rich planet, whereas the other planet's going to be our titanium-rich planet. In our case, we need to get titanium. The reason we need to get titanium is we want to unlock the planetary logistics and the interplanetary logistics so we can start shipping stuff between planets. But that's going to require a couple of things. First thing it's going to require is going to be yellow science. So to make yellow science, we're going to need polymer chemical engineering to make high strength crystals to make structural matrix. Okay, we need that to make yellow science. To make the planetary logistics system, we're also going to need this one unlocked. Plus, we're going to need... Oh, thrusters. Hang on. Let's go grab thrusters. We need to unlock magnetic levitation technology to unlock... No, that's the wrong one. It is that one. We need to unlock the hydrogen fuel cell to unlock thrusters. Trust me, at the same time, we're going to need reinforced thrusters. Okay. We don't need you in the queue just yet. Why did that remove things? Thank you. Okay. Which then means we can unlock high efficiency logistics and then vertical construction level 1. Okay. Turns out we also need vertical construction level 1. And then we can finally do planetary... No, our queue was full. Okay. So yes, we're on a brand new planet. Now, brand new planet means a couple of things. One, we need titanium. Now, we can either ship back just the raw titanium, or we could smelt it here. And my answer is going to be, well, we're here. We might as well smelt it here. So we're going to build, and we're going to do this a number of times, and I'm not going to make you endure through all of them. They will be my pleasure to endure through for you. We're going to make some smelter blocks, like a lot of smelter blocks. We're going to have an in and an out. We're going to set your recipe to be titanium. We're going to drag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Now, titanium is 2 ore in over 2 seconds to give me 1 plate. So it means, and this is a thing with both titanium and I think it's with glass as well. Yes, and with silicon. So it means for the 6 items per second I'm having coming into the smelter array, I'm only getting 3 out. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a bit of a catch. But we need to set up one of these. We need a storage container right here. We need logistics in, and that's basically it. So all I need to do is apply many belts to the problem. Tab, that goes to there. That goes to there. That goes to there. And does that reach? No, but that reaches. That's pretty much it. And I just need to do this over and over like 10,000 times and throw down wind turbines to sort of power the whole thing up. Now, wind turbines, as we covered before, only have 40% efficiency on this planet. So they're not going to be a very good alternative. Strength 40%. Yup. So these bad boys make a whopping 120 kilowatts. Yeah, it's not going to be very effective. But that's sort of okay because we've landed, I don't know where, here. And we have titanium above us. Titanium over there. And titanium over here. So obviously we're going to run up to the North Pole, and then we're going to run probably down to here and probably across to here with just rows and rows of, well, wind turbines. Click and drag, press tab, press plus button so they space out as much as possible, and done. And like, they might be crap at producing power, but they make really good power poles, and I have 187 of them in my inventory. And I need to go around the planet. At the same time, whilst we're here, we might as well grab the silicon. So, yeah, I'm going to be here for a minute just putting down power poles, smelters, miners, and boxes to store the junk in. And then I'll see you guys in a bit where we actually have everything set up and we're on our way to fly home. Oh god, I hate building around the North Pole. Yeah, I'll see you guys in a sec when you don't have to deal with this headache. Okay, so we have our 4 mines done, and our power is... It's great. As you can see, there's nothing wrong with it. So what I've done is I have... actually, it's probably easier if we turn on the power grid so we can follow it. I have gone and set up a smelter here, okay? And wanted up to North Pole, done that smelter, wanted down here, done this smelter. Actually went across the world to here, started here, and worked my way back up, stopping at a silicon vein at the same time to just set that up really quickly so we can have some silicon. The other one I want to go grab is I want to grab this fire ice right here, because the fire ice is actually a rare resource. It's one that lets you take a shortcut for some of the later productions. So we do want to grab that at the same time. Thanks. Do we want to grab it? I can't smelt it. It just gets processed as is. No, you know what? I don't think we're going to grab it now because we have no way of shipping it back currently. So one thing I do want to do is I do want to go for a jaunt around about to the equator. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly on the equator, but obviously the equator is the fattest part of the planet. And just drag out as many solar panels as I have. I've only got, what, 80 on me, so I'm not going to get very far. But because the planet doesn't have water, I should be able to get a decent amount of power by just aiming for the equator. Now, there's some ore here, which I'm going to want in the future. So we're just going to make a quick, zigzag and then bring it back up and continue along. Having a zigzag like that is not going to affect our power generation. Trust me. In fact, it's going to give us an extra couple of panels, which means In theory, one side of the planet might make a little bit more power than the other. That's it. That's all the power panels I have. So, I'm going to put all these down. I'll see you guys in a minute after these are down, and then we're going to head back home. So, we have our little string of solar panels now, which comes back into the main grid, heads back up to the North Pole, where I'm standing. Oh no, I'm standing in a different one. And power's now in the blue. Everything's fine, unless you happen to step your mech inside the wireless power towers to recharge your mech, because you may have forgotten to bring enough fuel back with you. At the same time, I did spam down all the wind turbines I had. We brought too many, that's perfectly fine. I needed to get rid of them because I wanted to maximize the amount of space in my inventory to fly back titanium, because that's basically what we're here for. We're here for as much titanium as we can carry. In fact, we're here for so much titanium that I'm actually going to dump my inventory, pull back out that titanium, the little bit of coal that I've actually manually harvested on this planet, grab that titanium, and that's how we're flying home. Like, everything else can just stay here. It's not important. We want to grab as much titanium as possible, so hopefully we don't have to do too many trips back and forth. Now I really want to know... Well, home is that way. Okay, and we've been lucky that the orbit has moved around enough that should be a fairly quick trip home. Except my recharge rate is bad. So, best way to not miss your planet, which is very important, because many a mech has missed many a homeworld many a time, and has spent 30 minutes having to circle around, even more if they're out of fuel, is make sure you're holding the W button at all times, and just aim the mech and the crosshair at the planet. With that method, you should hit it. It shouldn't use too much fuel, because literally all I'm doing is directional. So as long as it's directionally forward, I'm going to use a drib of fuel, but you should charge faster than that. And I should definitely hit our home worlds like...
Kill power.
So, yes, perfectly hovering right here. Okay, so... Now that we're home, we need to dump this titanium and pick up some fuel before we get dumped. Okay, I need to run over to that storage box and grab some fuel before I do anything else. So, after doing a bit of a hostage exchange to get the fuel in my inventory, we need some storage boxes. Now, I didn't put down storage boxes before we left, so we're going to just grab one of those out of there, drop that right there, open that up, and that's how titanium started, and put another one of those on top. So, with titanium, it now means we can start working our way through the rest of the tech tree, which is going to require, one, that I get more fuel in me, because... a flat mech is not a happy mech. Can I just pull that out? Sure. And you can have some coal. Excellent. Alright. So, technology-wise, we need to make the planetary logistics towers, which is still going to require all the research we're still doing. And that's really what's holding us up. We have, these are not quite running at full speed, and red science is backed up the wazoo. So, this system that I said, it's fine, we'll ignore till later, needs to have a little bit of a tweak. So, I think that's going to be the first thing on our list. Give me a sec, let's turn off some buttons, and let me see where we can try and make blue science a little bit more efficient. So it turns out the best spot for us to do blue science is actually going to be off this iron patch and this copper patch we spoke about previously. Now, blue science is going to require me to re-automate magnetic coils along with circuit boards, and honestly, I think I'm just going to do it right here. And I'm not going to show you guys because, let's face it, we've seen it twice already. It's good enough. In fact, I already have circuit boards right here. tile. Ground level. One product done. And that just means I need to do magnetic coils, which we can do basically right here. Yep, alright, I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so that unlocks the yellow science, so now we can start making yellow science, apart from the fact that we have nowhere near do we have the all the intermediates organized. So, I've just ripped up our labs, which we're going to put right back down here. And we're going to bring in our 2 items, set you to not red, blue science, please, sir. Alright, so that should start those rolling. They work in a 1-to-1 ratio. We need that to output, and because I have read the comments. I've read the comments. I've seen people complaining about my dead straight belts and my ups and downs and everything else. What we're going to do is we're going to build an elevator for this one, okay? Exceeds max height of construction. Oh. Why is that all up there? Can we... Okay, they're red packs only. No, we're going to do the red pack only research. I just wish we had that research already. Alright, fine. We're only going to have a 2-story high elevator. I need to cap that to 1 slot. You can leave uncapped. We're going to go up, up. Is that the right height? That should be the right height. This would be way more impressive if I could build higher. Done. Okay, unfortunately I have to wait for the first. Can I do that? Oh, I can do that. Oh, well, let's do that then. Let's magically force everything up to the 2nd level. Okay, so we're going to... You're running fast enough, are you? No, you can't get materials in fast enough. I did have Mark II sorters on me. I left them in my boxes on a different planet. Alright, so we need to upgrade both the sorters because we're not actually getting resources in fast enough. In fact, we'll even throw a 2nd one in there. Hopefully that's enough. Okay, lab science packs are getting out fast enough. There are some in storage. Okay, so we're going to take out elevated belts, which should reverse up to. Should just be able to sail around the outside without an issue in the world, and immediately runs into a wind turbine. You know what? Wind turbine, go away. Alright, so we're going to take that over. Do I do that? Let's just run the belt direct. I like running these belts direct. It makes science feel a little bit more important. Can I remove that? You know what? We might actually trim that back and run another diagonal belt. Sorry, dead straight belt. It's a dead straight belt on a diagonal. Okay, that's that done. Alright, so I just need the bots to put down the belts as always. And then I think... Well, we need to get back into some sort of automation. Okay, so that one's almost finished, which will jump us into thrusters and reinforced thrusters, which are all super, super expensive researches, but it looks like I have a decent amount of red science pre-buffered, so that should be okay. Icarus, go stand over there. We need to look at... Actually, that's going to be the next one we're going to need. So, I'll see you guys in a sec, and then we're going to probably have enough time to work on processes which require the silicon. We're also going to have to play with oil a lot, but I think we'll have to hold that one off till the next episode, because yellow science is where things start getting complicated. And I've spoken for so long that all the science is done. All the belts are plugged in. Okay, so that needs to go away. That needs to go away. Labs are doing great. No, labs could do with another sorter to bring stuff in even faster. Excellent. Okay. Alright. So we need to make processes. And we don't actually need to make processes as part of the science. We need to make processes so we can get to the planetary logistics station. Yes. Because we actually need the interstellar logistics system, so we can actually have things automatically shipped back from the other planet. So, first things first, cap the hell out of that. Cap the hell out of that. Actually, remove those two machines. Do a bit of cleanup. Okay. So I have lots of intermediates sitting in a box that I will probably... Actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. We'll just throw it in our inventory and hopefully we'll find a use for it eventually. Okay, so processors require microcrystalline components. Microcrystalline components require silicon and they require copper. We have our little box of silicon, which we're going to have to go and investigate and see how much silicon's left in the silicon box. A fair bit. But considering there's lots of solar panels, a lot less than there was. So we also are going to need some copper. If we take that copper, we need to make processors. So they require circuit boards as well. So it's copper with a touch of iron. We can see that all the iron there is definitely being used. Next iron patch. Alright, so we have this copper, we have this iron. I think the answer is going to be Jetty builds more smelters. You guys don't need to see that for the 31st time. And also landfills in... Oh my... I don't have landfill. Build some smelters, make some green circuits to then start the process for the microcrystalline components. But then we're going to have to import the silicon, which means a flight back to the other planet once again to grab just a little bit of silicon to try and get this process up and running. So, see you guys in a sec. Okay, so microcrystalline components. Step 1, add copper. Step 2, add silicon. Yes. Step 3, put the silicon in a box, because that's how it's going to have to arrive for now. And then we're going to run that belt along here to a bunch of assemblers, which are going to need an output belt as well, to make microcrystalline components. So that recipe, we're going to need a input, output, and then the crafting time on these is actually, it's not too bad, but we do need them to make processes. We also need the same amount of microcrystalline components as we do green circuit boards. So did I make 3? I made 3. We're gonna have to upgrade that build. 4, 5, 6. We're gonna have to go with 6. 6 is gonna be our magic number. And some power poles. I don't know. There, and there. That should do us. Okay, so after I put silicon into that box with some output inserters, we can make microcrystalline components. We already, as I just said, need to make more green circuit machines, so I'm going to need about 6 of these. 1 second you make 2. Nope, 1 second makes 2, which means I'm already making 6. So then we need to make processors. Now processors are going to require microcrystallines and circuits. That's it. So it should be place an assembler, change up the recipe to processors, bring in microcrystalline from the front, and circuits from the even more front, and take that circuit belt, run a dead straight line. I love the dead straight lines. From there to there, we're then going to give you an output belt. Seems reasonable. You do not need that solder on the rear. We could neaten these things up, but honestly, they're probably good enough as is, because pretty much everything on our home world is temporary. We will basically end up scrapping everything in due time. The home world, really, its plan is to make warpers. That's really what it's going to be doing. 3, 4, 5. I need one more. Okay. Pop that there. Pop that to there. Can we? There we go. Okay, that's the first time you can complain that my belt's not dead straight. My off-the-grid belts are not dead straight. Okay, we need you to have output hooked up, because I didn't do that. Output, 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 output. Double input thruster, there we go. Now we're into the really tiny science at just 1600 packs. Power pole, power pole. The mech has got just about all the upgrades I can think of for it. From memory. Upgrades. Yeah, everything. Oh no, there's still a few. Oh, there's actually some decent ones. Okay, and construction. Vein utilization. Okay. Alright, so we have that build up and running. It's going to take a while to, you know, kick in on the fact that I haven't given it any silicon. But apart from that, it should be a good, worthwhile build. Now, science. Actually, let's do this guy. So we did unlock... the ability to make in an assembler, not a smelter. Input, output. We did unlock the ability to make crystals. The organic crystals. So this requires wood, plant fuel, and water, which means the only thing I need to go track down is going to be a water pump, which requires some brick. Brick? We good now? We are good now. So we're going to dump a water pump, like, in the pond, literally right beside the machine. And that should be all it needs. And at least then, that means that should be able to convert all the plant life and matter in here over to those. Oh, we can also set up a titanium smelter now. So we're going to change you over, set you to titanium because we have the recipe unlocked. Where's my pump? Need liquid sources right there. Bring that belt out the front. Throw that in there. That should get that up and running. It's going to be dog slow, okay? It needs 20 wood, 30 leaves off the one sorter. But that doesn't matter because it can run for hours. We really don't care. So back to research. We need those, which are going to be a pain to make. Those which require the crystals that we just started automating, and the proper crystals are even worse to make. So you know what? I think we're going to be done for this episode. It means that it was a little bit shorter than normal. We just went off-world. We just grabbed the titanium. We set up a little bit of future automation for when I go and bring back some silicon, which I might do between episodes, because there's nothing to stop me just going and grabbing the silicon and bringing it back. At the same time, I can probably recover part of my inventory. Not that I really need it, because most of it's rubbish anyway. But it does mean that we'll have the whole of next episode clean to start looking at trying to get... Oh, wow. We burned through power quick. Trying to get yellow science automated, because it's a doozy. It requires us to smelt titanium, hence we brought back titanium. We have to make the organic crystals, which means we have to make plastic, which is not too hard. It's just going to be a bit of a struggle. After we get plastic up and running, we can then make the organic crystals. We also need to make... There's one other thing we need to make. I think it was... I want to say acid. Why do we need acid? No, we don't need acid yet. We also have to make the tech that I don't have. Titanium crystals. Do we not... Have we not unlocked titanium crystals? No. No. So it also requires more research that we don't have. Our little labs that could try very hard, but they just could not enough. We're making science at 1 per second. I think we need to go to 2 per second. So we might do that in the next episode as well, because we have the production. There's nothing stopping us. Does mean technically we'd have less hydrogen in those tanks, but those tanks are doing alright. The refined oil is doing even better. So yeah, I think we're going to have to upgrade the science as well. But there'll all be decisions for the next episode. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. As I've been saying for a while, if you haven't already subscribed, now is a great time to do so. At the same time, I will give you one final reminder that I'm naming planets from this episode forth. I'm naming planets at least one every episode or other episode after supporters of the channel. So that is YouTube memberships. You know, down there, just click the join button. All the details are there. Over on Patreon. Patreon is completely up to you. If you wish to support the channel, you can via Patreon. Or, well, you can always come watch this series as well over on Twitch. Again, links to all three of those. Well, links to Patreon. I guess the join button's there as well. So there's a link to that one as well. Are all down in the description below. With all that said, this is where I'm going to leave it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the very next episode. All right, bye.